All right, let's get started. Good morning, you guys. Can you hear me? All right, welcome. My voice is slowly going here, so it's not getting any better. I'm not sure what's going on with me, but I feel fine. My voice is just going, so and try to get through this. I really hope I'm not. Oh no, you're getting snow there. It's terrible. It's raining here. It's cold and rainy, and all I want to do is curl up in my bed, go to sleep. But we gotta go. Work is work. Gotta go. Gotta go. Gotta go. I hope I'm not getting sick though. I'm trying to fight it. All right, guys. Well, this is our last live lecture. I'm sorry if I sound so weird. I'm gonna try and get through this. We have some interesting things to do today. I think you guys will really enjoy it. And Christina, if you don't mind, I know you said you would like for critique on your on your ads. So I'd love to share that with everybody if that's okay. Okay. Yeah, I had some hot tea last night. It felt really good. Okay, great. All right, awesome. Yeah, so we're gonna get to you guys here, and hopefully, maybe we can end a little early so I can rest my voice here. How is everything going? Do you guys have any questions for me? Outstanding questions besides what you want to share with me after lecture? No questions. Okay. I love black tea. Yeah. My favorite is black tea and like oolong tea. That's like one of my favorites. So maybe I'll dip into that later today here. I've been drinking coffee and that's been soothing my throat. My throat actually doesn't hurt. It's just like way in the back. It's like really weird. So who knows what's going on with me? Okay, I'll have to check that out. There's all kinds of really interesting teas out there for throat issues and sicknesses. I went to this little town called Saxonburg, and it's about an hour away from me. We went there. I guess they have a haunted hotel there. So my boyfriend and I went to stay there the one weekend. They had this really cute little tea shop, like a coffee shop. You walk in and they had like a million teas, and you had some for your throat if you had like a sore throat. But it was just kind of amazing to see all those different teas. Yeah, all in jars. It looks real pretty. Just like one of those tea stores that you walk into at the mall. It was really cool. I ended up getting coffee though, so I didn't do the tea. And we didn't see any ghosts that weekend, so unfortunately. Yeah, it was like worth a try, right? It was a really cool little hotel. It's 1800s, built in the 1800s, part of the Historic Society. So it was one of those things that, it was kind of cool to be there anyway. Oh, really? Cool. I love those types of things. I'd rather do that than like actual, like instead of I've done my share of haunted houses where they're the fake haunted houses and they're fun. But nowadays, now that I'm a little older, I like to do the real stuff. Oh, cool. Very, very cool. Yeah, the prisons are a little different. Mm-hmm. Yep. Those are a little scary. And you can stay the night at some of them. Like I know if Mansfield, Ohio, I think you need like months in advance though. And then you can stay the night. Oh, sorry, I missed that. Oh, Randy? Oh, okay, that's your husband. Sorry. I always think you're saying Raymond for some reason. Yeah, I'm in Pittsburgh, so Oh, okay, okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, you think she's talking about your uncle. See, I'm all messed up today. Randy's your husband, right, Christina? You guys are all confusing me. Okay. And I didn't even take medicine today. I'm all foggy headed. Yeah, I'm in Pittsburgh. So Saxonburg is like a really tiny little town northeast of where we live, about an hour. Real cute little town. So some interesting things to do. We went to Gettysburg last year, but it was in August, so it wasn't like, Halloween time. And we stayed at a haunted B&B, and that was kind of cool. That was really cool. We didn't see anything, we didn't hear anything, but we only stayed one night. We did like the ghost tour type stuff. We have a lot of things going on down there. Or over there, up there, over there. But it's supposed to be a pretty haunted town, so there's just neat to see the history. Yep. I lived all over. I lived in Ohio after Pittsburgh, and then I lived in Tampa for 7 years, and then I moved back. So I haven't been in Pennsylvania all my life, but I grew up here, so. Excuse me. All right, well, have fun with all your ghostly things. Halloween's coming up, so that's exciting. Got to get our costumes ready, and I know, Christina, you said you were getting your stuff ready, which is kind of cool for those kiddos. All right, so let's go forward here. Assessment 4, let's take a look here. I think you guys will enjoy this. I might have to pause here. My dog's going crazy. He's obsessed with pulling out my little spiders from the cobwebs that I just put up in the house. So that's always fun. Oh, okay, I thought he had one, but we're good. He's a little stinker. Oh, cool. Yeah, unfortunately, he's a wiener dog, and we got him a year ago, so he's still a puppy. So it's like he's like, it's like having a kid. It's like a baby. But we love him. He's cute. He just gets like crazy sometimes. All right, we'd like to see some of those pictures of the costumes. All right, let's go forward. So you're going to read through the prompt here. Basically, this is what we're going to be doing, is turning your printed version of your magazine into an interactive one, so a digital version. Yep, exactly. 5-year-old French bulldog. Yep. Oh, geez. I think that's what the breed that he is. I think he's just going to be like this all the time, but he is very cute. French bulldogs are very cute. I don't think they get really big either. What kind of puppy did your daughter get, Christina? I love dogs. Okay, so while she's typing that in here, what you want to do is just read through here. Ooh, that's a big one. Yeah, labs can be crazy. My sister got a lab. It's he's nutso. So just read through here. It's just going to kind of tell you things to think about when you're making an interactive PDF. And then the prompt here, I'm just going to read through this so I don't have to read word for word for the background. You guys can do that on your own. The prompt, I'm going to read out loud, and then we'll kind of see if you have any questions, and we'll go into our demo. So it's now time to take your finished magazine, initially designed as a multi-page layout in InDesign, and convert it into an interactive PDF document. An interactive PDF is a great choice to create a digital magazine because it completely preserves the look of your InDesign document and requires no coding to build and deliver a well-crafted interactive PDF. So you have to, and here's the instructions here, create a navigation system that includes hyperlinks for each article on cover so the reader can jump directly to each article. One hyperlink added to the editorial article and one hyperlink added to the feature article that links specific content to Wikipedia. For example, adding a link to the Wikipedia page on remodeling. Yeah, exactly. Excuse me. Interactive table of contents that can be clicked to go to the articles. Bookmarks allowing readers to navigate to an article and content. Navigation buttons on each page that the user can use to browse the magazine page by page or jump to the table of contents. Your submission requirements, you're going to export to the web using Adobe InDesign Publish Online, export as a spread. You're going to copy the URL and submit in comments. You're going to name your file as such, assessment 4, first and last name. You're going to submit the interactive PDF for grading, and then you're going to send your FPA and CC me with the URL to the link to your online magazine. So there'll be like kind of like 2 things you have to do there. Any questions about that? Okay. Yeah, it's been a while, huh, for the interactive PDF. It's actually really easy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over here to what you'll need to do is just open up your InDesign file. So you're going to open up your InDesign file. You don't have to do it in actual Adobe Acrobat. So this is where you should be starting here. And if everything looks good and you're ready to create your interactive PDF, first thing we need to do, and I'm going to go to the cover here, is go up to Window. And there's an actual panel that you'll want to have on your workspace called Interactive. And we're going to do a hyperlink first. So go ahead and choose hyperlink. And that's going to pull up a panel with the assets for hyperlinks. Okay. Oh, excuse me. It's crazy. Okay. So the next thing that we're going to do is we want to have each of these be interactive where it jumps to that specific page. So we're going to do, the first one is your feature article. So we're going to take our type tool and we're going to highlight over the copy for just the feature article. Oh, excuse me. All right, so then we're going to go, yeah, if I could catch my breath here. Sorry, guys. Okay. Man, this is going to be a trip. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go to the upper right-hand corner. And what you can do is click on, and I don't know if you saw me do that, the upper right-hand corner here where it's a little asset panel. My dog's acting crazy right here. You know, kind of gives you more assets here to click on. Go to new hyperlink destination. And what you want to choose is type up here. And we want to change that to page because we want it to go to a page, not an actual URL link, right? So we want this to go to page what on here? Where does the features articles start? Page 3, good. So what we want to do is we can name this page 3. And we can choose page 3 here. Fixed setting is just, you know, how you'll see this whenever it's being viewed in Acrobat. Fixed is fine. It's just kind of fixing it to your monitor size, which is good. You can fit in view as well. Actually, fixed size is what it is whenever you save it out. Fit view would be fitting to your screen size. You could probably do fit view, might be a little bit better than fixed size so that you know everybody's going to see it the way it should be on their screen if they have a bigger screen or a smaller screen. Okay, click OK. Now, you probably won't see anything until we export. So just don't, you know, kind of understand that, you know, it might not look like anything until we actually export. Now we're going to choose the second story, and this story starts on page 2, right? So we're going to do the same thing. Just highlight it with your type tool. go to new hyperlink destination, page number 2, and we're going to go to fit view, click OK. This one is a little tricky. I would say just leave any other ones alone, just because we don't really have a page number for this one. So we'll just kind of leave it as that. Okay. All right. So any questions about that? And I'll kind of show you how it works when we export, so that you'll see how it works. Yep. Yeah, Raymond, what's up? What if you choose 2 articles that were not in the magazine? You know what you could do? You could probably just set it to the table of contents page, which is page 2. But you should have your feature story up there no matter what. So, yeah. You mean at the other 2 choices is what you're talking about? Yeah. Yeah, so just have it set to page 2, and I can even do that here too. Oops. Let me go. You know, page 2 would be this, and then right here. Oh, we got to rename this. So we'll do table of contents. We'll just name it table of contents. Okay. You're welcome. All right, so that's pretty much it. That's the first thing you guys need to do. Hyperlinks for each article on cover so the reader can jump directly to each article. The second one is one hyperlink added to the editorial article. So we'll do that. So let's go to the editorial, which is this one here, page 2 and 7. So read through, and what you can do is a hyperlink usually is on a word that might be more complex to where you want to give more information on that. So like for instance, right here, temporal lobe. People might not know what that is, frontal temporal lobe. So that might be a really good hyperlink to use for that, because that's actually, it's an actual term for something medical in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my type tool, and I'm just going to highlight that and copy it. Command C is copy. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Wikipedia online, so wikipedia.org, and I'm going to paste in, and it didn't copy, so I'm going to have to go back here. Hold on. Copy and paste that in there, and then do a little search. Now it should come up. If not, you might need to do another advanced search, but it should come up under here, one of these. So for instance, frontal temporal lobe, here's temporal lobe, frontal lobe. I'd probably click on this one because it's more of the frontal lobe. Click on the one that you think that would work best to direct your hyperlink to. And when you're ready to select that that link, you just go up here on the very top search address bar. You select all, so Command A and then a Command C for copy. Okay, so then we're going to go right back to our InDesign file, right where we, highlighted this. We're going to highlight that, make sure we highlight that full thing, full name, and then we're going to go up to here and say new hyperlink for URL. And then, so we're going to just double click on that. And when you double click on that, we're going to actually paste in that link right here. You can kind of change, let me see, somebody's typing here. Sorry, guys. Oh, okay, hold on. Sorry, guys. Let me share my whole desktop. There we go. Can you see that now? All right, so what I did, well, let me do that again. So I just highlighted that. I did a new, it said new hyperlink from URL, which is not highlighted now. And I'm just going to double click on that because I want this to be the URL that I copied. And you can have it set up as a hyperlink. You can have it as, you can highlight it if you want, or have it as just specific color if you have it as a highlight. I'm just going to leave it as is and click OK. And you can kind of see when I click off of here what happens. It actually looks like a hyperlink. I don't know if you guys can see that right here. It becomes blue and it has an underline underneath it. And I can see that it's working because there's this little, if I click on that little green button, it's going to go right to that link. So you can kind of test it. Any questions about that? It's pretty easy, right? Okay. So you'll want to pick, a word or a term that you want to kind of explore a little bit more about that makes sense for this. So you're going to do one hyperlink added to the editorial and one hyperlink added to the feature. So that was editorial, and then this is the feature. So go ahead and search through here and do the same thing. Let me see if I can find something in here. Here, right here. It's a perfect one here. Glycemic index. That might be something that people want to know more about or don't know what that means. So they want to kind of check it out. So I'm going to copy that with my type tool. I'm going to go back to the Wikipedia and I'm going to paste that word in here, those two words in here. And it comes up directly with what the meaning is here. It talks about what it actually is. If that looks good, do a select. I'll copy that link. Go back here with that highlighted still. Go to new hyperlink from URL. Double click. Paste it in there. Everything looks good. Click OK. And there you go. And we can test this again if you just double click on actually just one time click on that little green button there. And we'll test it whenever it becomes a finished PDF. All right, I should save this as assessment 4 before I did anything. Sorry, guys. This on desktop here. Okay. So that is the second bullet point on your to-do list here. So we did this one just before we did the hyperlinks. Interactive table of contents. You need to have that clicked. You should be able to click that to go to the articles too. So let's go back to the table of contents here. All right. And again, you can, what you can do too is I could probably just select this whole text. So if anybody clicks anywhere near here, it goes to that page. So I would just go to new hyperlink destination. We want to go to page, and this would go to page 3. Oh, this already exists. So we're going to have to name this something a little different here. So let's do feature article. Highlight this one, do the same thing. Oops, right there. Page. We're going to name this editorial article. That's page 2. And then the rest of these, This is a little tricky because we don't have these pages. Just direct it to page 2. You know, like I said in the front. That way I kind of know that you're paying attention. So we'll just name this table of contents. We already named table of contents. Table of contents, I will just name it like fake pages or something like that. Page 2, fixed view, just so we have something different. Okay. Future articles, there you go. I put fake. It works. It's a good idea. All right, so we got that done. Bookmarks and allowing readers to navigate to an article and content. So let me fit spread and view here. Here we go. So bookmarks, you can add, go back to window and go back to interactive. So the fixed view is whatever you save. Like if I am in InDesign and I save this out as a PDF, whatever view that I have it fixed in on my screen is how you'll see it on your screen. So if I'm zoomed in at like 200%, you're going to see it as 200% on your screen. That's why I changed it to fit view, so that, you know, what I see on my screen will fit to your screen if you have a smaller screen. Does that make sense? It's kind of a weird thing, but you know, sometimes it gets annoying to people when they open up your PDF, like especially an interactive PDF, and it's like really big and you have to zoom out. And some people don't like to do that, or it's too small, vice versa. Yeah. So fit in view is nice because it'll just fit it based on your screen size. Fixed is kind of whatever you fix it to. Okay, interactive. Let's go to whatever is bookmarks. Sorry. And bookmarks. Did you ever see bookmarks in a digital magazine before? Typically, what that's used for, like, yes, typically it's used for, like, you know, catalogs that have different sections. Let's, for example, maybe like clothing, like a sporting goods clothing line. So you can kind of easily tab through like shirts or, you know, shoes, and you can kind of click on those bookmarks easily, so you can kind of scroll through everything. So if you wanted to add a new bookmark, you just go to new bookmark. Oh, sorry, before I do that, what we want to do is we want to actually click on the page that we want to add the bookmark to. So I think because we don't really have too many pages and it's not going to show as nicely as a catalog would, let's just focus on maybe just doing it to the feature story. So just double click on page 3, and we're just going to name this bookmark feature story. Double click on it so you know it's selected only on the right side here, page 3. And then what we'll do is we'll just command click. When you hit command, it'll be able to shift. It's like a shift click. You know, you'll be able to select multiple pages together. So holding down the command on your keyboard and clicking on page 4, 3, 4, 5, and 6 will allow you to do that without taking the other pages with it, okay? So then with those selected, what we want to do is go to bookmarks and say new bookmark, and we want to name this feature article, and then hit return to set it, and we're good to go. So whatever you select in your pages and you add a bookmark is what it will create a bookmark for. I know you can't see it now. We're going to take a look at this in a second, so just bear with me here. Okay, so let's just do one bookmark for now. Navigation buttons on each page that the user can use to browse the magazine page by page or jump to the table of contents. So this is fun too, because you can kind of do some different things in here. So let's go to the cover. So what you basically want is a visual, and it doesn't have to be a big visual or something that's huge or in the way and bold. It could be something very subtle, like a little arrow that shows that, yeah, you can click here and flip to the next page. So with that being said, let's go back up to window. And you want to go back to interactive and let's see here, buttons and forms is what you want to select. What's neat about buttons and forms is there are buttons, sample buttons and forms. If you click on that upper right hand corner here and click on that sample options, it gives you already pre-made buttons and arrows that you can just pull from. Pretty cool, huh? So they have like check marks, you know, little squares with selections in them, little tickers here, just regular rectangle buttons. There's arrows, circles. Pretty cool. Okay. So you can create your own button too. You don't have to use this. So let me show you both and then you can decide on what you want to do. So let's decide, okay, we're going to use one of their buttons and I'm going to do a arrow like this. And I want to do a right arrow because typically we go from left to right. So if you're on the cover, you just want to do one arrow on the right. So if I click and drag that over and I'm selecting it there, it's placing it right here. Now you can make this bigger. You can make it smaller. You can even make it so that it's not as dark, or you can change the color. Just go to your properties box. You can change the color here. If you don't want it to be like 100% black, if you just want it to be a real light color, for instance, a tint. But this is, you know, you want to make sure you can see it, but that's a way that you can do this using their buttons. There goes my clock. Hold on one second, guys. All right, sorry. All right, so when you're ready to, I would probably center this on your, you know, wherever you're putting it, I would center it on your layout. This is centered here, so that actually works perfect right here. Now with that arrow selected, your buttons and forms panel box will look different because it's going to give you options to create this button and it's in interactivity. So it's telling you up here what type of button it is, just a button. You can name this, and I'll name this next because it's to the next page. You can change this to, this is kind of how you would, you know, how you want it to be interactive. Do you want to be able to release or tap it? Can you see? Now showing when you click this button. Okay. Yeah, so you can do it on a click, a rollover, you know, you have all these options. I'm going to just keep it on release or tap. Go to next page is fine. Everything else down here is just showing you what it would look like on a rollover. You know, it could turn dark on a rollover or, you know, transparent on a click. You can have different things going on. You can have it kind of zooming in, actual size. I'm just going to kind of leave it as what it was defaulted there. PDF options. This is just, you know, you can just have a description of here and have it printable. That's fine. Everything looks good. Yeah, everything looks good. I'm going to save that. All right, so that looks pretty good. Then I would go to the next page. So that would click you to this page. So what we need on this page is a left go back button, I guess, a back button. So go back to your, if you're doing your pre-made buttons, go back and use the left button. That's okay. Just make sure it looks like your other button, you know, so you kind of have to know how big you're making the other one. And the, you know, if you do any type of changes to it, make sure it's consistent. Okay. So with that selected, go back to your buttons and forms, and we're going to name this back button. And leave on or release, go to previous page is what we want that set to. That's perfect. Everything else looks good. You're going to save that. Now what you can do is you can copy and paste this one in below on this page, because you're going to want a right button here. So make sure we have the same, is that the same size? Maybe not be the same size. Just make sure when you click on it, let's see here, it says next. Okay, yeah, this is going to rename it. So it's going to rename it next to, and it's going to go to the next page. And what's nice about this is we can kind of copy and paste these in. So it's like it might be a little bigger here. Need to be. The only problem with that is it gets too close to that type. Copy and paste it on this page. So it names it back to. Make this a little smaller, I think. Oh, geez. Never heard of that before. Well, they're going to have to learn how to do it. All right, so as you can see, I'm just copying and pasting. Kind of an easy thing to do once you get that all situated. And aligning here. You can see that it's renaming it. Like this is back button 2. That's back button 3. Oh, really? Never heard of that either. That's funny. How am I not surprised? I love glitter. How could you be afraid of glitter? All right, so you can kind of get the gist, right? And then on this one, you can have a back button as well. Put this one back here. This is kind of hidden a little bit. Let me make this a little 100% here. Oh, geez, that's crazy. All right. Any questions about that? It's pretty simple, right? If you wanted to create your own button, all you would have to do is obviously create it. So, you know, you could do it with a straight line here. Let me show you here real quick. Start out with maybe like a line, or, you know, whatever you decide to do that makes sense. You can even, let's see here. Bring up my stroke piano box. And let's give it none and a black fill. Okay, and then you can kind of give it, you know, you could even give it one of these on each side, little squares, just kind of cool. Or arrows, whatever you decide. When you're ready to make the button, all you have to do, where's my buttons forms? I think I did this before. You just have to drag. I thought you could drag and drop this. Hold on 1 second. In your buttons. You might have to make this a symbol. Oh, I thought I could just drag and drop it in here. Looks like it's not letting me. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Hold on 1 second, guys. Where's my symbols? That's really weird. Here, let me reset this here. All my panels are everywhere. Okay. Should be a symbols. Where's my symbols here? I can't find them. No. You know what I'm thinking of InDesign. Oh wait, no, we are in InDesign. I'm thinking of Illustrator. That's why it's messing me up here. Illustrator, there's a special way you can make symbols, and it's I'm in Illustrator mode right now in my head. But there is a way you could create your buttons here. Let me try to figure this out. Let's see, buttons and forms. Let's back up here. Aha, yes, okay, so it's easy. I know I did this before. So with it selected, I don't know if you saw what I just did there. Bring up your buttons and forms. With it selected, where it says type, you just want to check button, and it creates it as a button. All right, and then you can name the button and then give it some actions. So say if you wanted this to go, say if you wanted this to be a next button, your action, you would add, select the plus sign, and you would say, go to next page, and give it that action. Pretty much like what you just saw. Those were the default ones that I showed you before, so it already had it, you know, assigned. You know, these were already assigned. There you go. I knew I would be able to figure this out. I don't usually create interactive PDFs all that much, so I have to go back to review it, but I figured it was probably in here. But if you use the defaulted symbols, the buttons that are in there, it already kind of has actions assigned to it. Yeah. So, but if you want to make one, I just showed you how you could do that. Okay. All right, so the next thing we need to do, and I'm going to put this on this ad here, is a button to allow the viewer to go back to the table of contents. Say if they got to this last page and they want to go back to table of contents. Let's go to buttons and forms, and I'm just going to go back to that sample area here. And I'm going to go ahead and drag and drop one of the like red rectangular buttons. Zoom in here. I do in the field a lot with making or more with web design. Sometimes publications will send out their publications as interactive PDFs, or they could be even newsletters. It could be a catalog of clothing. It depends on the magazine. Some don't even go that route as far as a PDF. They just do like flip books on the web, where you're just on the actual website and flipping through it. So it really depends on the purpose of what that publication wants it to do. Like if they want a person to be able to download it on their computer and have it as a PDF to flip through themselves without having to be online, that's something that could be a benefit. Yeah, flip books, yeah. This is actually kind of nice as an option for you guys for a possible portfolio option. And I'm not saying that's something that you think about here for this goal in particular, but say if you wanted to just round up some sample pieces for when you go to interview somewhere very quickly, you could do an interactive PDF. You could just send it to them via email and say, here, flip through my work. And obviously it doesn't have to look like a magazine. It would be your work. Yep. Now you could do that the same thing with the flip book. You just give them a URL link instead of a PDF. So it's really depending on if you want the person to be on the web, internet, or just have a PDF for them to view without being on the web. And sometimes it's good to do both. There's pros and cons to both. So something to think about. All right, so with that button selected, you saw how I could resize it. Yeah, you're welcome. I'm like resizing this. Go ahead and take your type tool. This is what I'm going to do here. And I'm going to do wording just so the viewer knows what this button is all about. And I'm going to type in here, maybe, let's see here. My character panel always takes a while to bring up for some reason. I think it's because I have so many fonts in my font book here. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay. Ooh, that took a while. Okay. Let's take this down to like 10 points. And, oops. Even smaller than that. So what I'm just doing is having the word table of contents in here small, and I'm going to implement this with the button so that the viewers know what it is. And I'm going to make this maybe black here. It looks pixelated because you're viewing it at a specific size. You have to view it at 100%. Most likely. That's what I kind of told you, it's going to look a little pixelated. Now you have to make sure you save out your image, if that's the image quality size, to a maximum JPEG. Just make sure that that's a high quality maximum JPEG. Okay, so the key to this though is you need to group your table of contents with your button. And then go to just make sure your button's assigned properly. See how this isn't assigned. So what we're going to do, once I group that, my button kind of got messed up. So I'm going to go up here and 1 second. There we go. Let me ungroup this. Maybe the grouping is like kind of freaky. There we go. Okay, don't group it, but you can shift select it all. I have a little problem with this, and I remember there's a workaround, so we'll see if it actually works here. Okay, so I'm going to choose button. Looks like it's going to go. And then I'm going to name this table of contents back cover button. And I'm going to go to actions, and I'm going to say PDF only. Okay, so this is where, yeah, I'm going to have some issues here. Print, submit, view. There we go, next. Might have some issues because it's not under PDF here. Let me see. We'll see if this works here. So go to destination. And what we want to do, oh, okay, see, yeah, this is not the way to do it. Hold on. I'm gonna undo this. This is the tricky part here. Let me ungroup. Okay, so this is the tricky part. Let me see if this works without selecting the type here. And I'm just selecting that button, table of contents, back cover button. And my action, I want to go to I want it to go to page, but I'm not sure if this is going to work, so we'll see. Go to page, and I'm going to delete this. I want this to go to page 2. Okay, fit visible. Looks good. Now, my wording might get knocked out of here. We'll see how that works because I was having issues with this before and I found a workaround and I can't remember. So we'll see if this actually works here. So what I did was I just created, the button was already created. All I needed to do was rename it and then choose an action, which was go to page right here. This is for EPUB only, so we'll see if when we export this, if this actually works. Everything else looks good. Yeah, looks good. Click File, Save. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so there's the button. And let's see if there's anything else we need to do here. No, we're good. All right, so just make sure you save this as the assessment 4. All of my hyperlinks are in. Hopefully it all works, and we're going to test it here. If it doesn't, we'll kind of fix it here. So now what we need to do is we're going to export to the web using the Adobe InDesign Publish Online, export as a spread. So if you click on this, it's actually going to show you how to do that, or kind of show you, what it's all about here, pretty much, and how to do it. And it kind of shows you how to export and all that good stuff. But what you want to do is just go back to your InDesign file, save it, and then what we're going to do is we're going to publish online. Okay, so we're going to select that. Oh, it's going to take a while here. Publish new document is fine. I don't know what advanced is. Let's go to advanced. Oh, okay, this is just setting the JPEG options and all that. Just hit general, that's fine. The title is set as such. You can put in here like, you know, Fit Me magazine, fitness magazine. I'll just type in that. You want to do all pages, and what you want to do is make sure you select spread. Okay, not single. If you want to allow viewers to download the document as a PDF print, you can allow that with checking this. You don't have to select it really right now. You can hide and share the embed options in the published document. So I'm just going to leave that go. I'm going to hit publish. Give it a while here. Oh, I had some errors in my document. I should have probably cleaned up before I did this. So we'll see how this comes out. So I have some missing links here. Yeah, see right here. This is where it becomes a problem. Do you wish to continue? No, we're going to stop. Let me fix these errors first. See these little errors down here? It's saying I have 4 missing links. So let's go ahead and fix that. Okay. Give me 1 second, you guys, because I've been doing so many different variations for this. There we go. Stuff kind of gets scattered around here. And then plaster. Okay, where's that at? I'm gonna look for the plaster. Might have deleted this one, which would be not so good, right? Let's see images. Oh, there it is. I just need to replace this with all of these. Now, obviously, okay, here. Found these. There we go. I'm going to save this. Now I'm going to do the same thing I just did. So let me go back to pages. Just make sure you don't have any weird misleaking errors that are going on. Publish online again. Just do the same thing. And it'll tell you just like it did there. Spreads. Everything looks good. Take existing document. Publish. Yeah, that's what happens. You have to make sure you move over your images when you're going from folder to folder sometimes. And if you are moving it from folder to folder, you have to make sure you relink it. All right, now it might take a little while like you just saw. It's going to give you a link to copy, and this is what you would send to your FPA and myself. There you go. So you can hit copy for that. If you want to view your document, you could go to view. And then this is where you kind of test it out. Go ahead, test out your back buttons, your forward buttons. I'm going to go back on this page, go forward on this page. That looks good. Forward. Let's go back. That looks good. So test it out. Oh, my table contents button is there. You can still see it, but you know what? Let's see. Oh, yeah, it's clickable. And it goes right back to page 2, which really is the double page spread, so we're good. Let's see. These are not working. Those hyperlinks I put in there, so we're going to have to go look at that. Let's take a look at these hyperlinks and click on the frontal lobe. That works. And then the other one that we put in is this one, and that works. I kind of thought maybe I was going to have a problem with my table contents and my stories up here being links. Okay, so let me go back. I'm going to close this. If you need to make any changes, that's fine. I'll show you how to redo it because I need to make changes too. Go back to my InDesign file, and again, I'm going to select, let's see here, buttons and forms. It says create hyperlinks, but for some reason it's not creating hyperlinks for this the way that it should. So hyperlinks. Okay, let's try it this way. I originally showed you how to do it by saying new hyperlink from URL, I believe. Or did I do it from this? I can't remember. Let's try it this way real quick. New hyperlink. And we're going to do page. And we're going to go to page 2. Oh, okay. This is the way you do it. Yes. I showed you guys something different. So again, let me go back. I think what I did before was show you how to create a hyperlink for these articles by clicking on new hyperlink destination, where you should have just went to new hyperlink. So I apologize. You're going to see that it's going to have an underline when you do that. This goes to your page 3 because it's a feature page. We're going to go to fit and view. Now you can change the look of this. Let's say you don't want that line underneath there. You can change it to none and click OK. Sorry, guys. I don't want to confuse you there. Just keep doing that same thing to this one. New hyperlink. This would go to page 2. I'm doing my fit view and style is none. Click OK. Same thing, new hyperlink. We'll do page 2 because that's table of contents. Fit in view. Looks good. Okay. Same thing with the table of contents. We need to change that too because that wasn't working. So again, select all of that, go up to new hyperlink instead of what I showed you before. And this one would start on page 3. You don't have to have any character style, click OK. So it's just a quick, easy fix here. Sorry about that. Page 2 looks good. Fit and view. And we'll see if this works, hopefully. The rest of these can be on page 2 as well. Okay, save it. And I'm going to do it again. So publish online. Spread. And hopefully this will work. All right, view document. Now you can see my little, I don't know if you can see this, my little selector goes from an arrow to a finger. So if I click right on that, it should take me to page 3, which really takes me to the spread. Same thing here. So it should take me to the spread. Okay. Let's see if these work. So this would take me to page 2, which is what we're on, page 3. See, these you don't really know if it works, but I could tell that it's actually linking to something because that little hand will change. Just one of those things because we're on page 2. We're showing a spread, so that's why it's a little difficult to see where it goes. But there you go. Now, Let's see, what do we do? Let me zoom out here. Here we go. Okay. There's the little thumbnails. The only thing I don't see here is the my bookmarks. And that should be showing somewhere here, and I'm not quite sure why it's not showing here. I think when you export the actual PDF, because this is one that's showing through the publish online, if it's an actual interactive PDF, let's go ahead and try something real quick. Because right now that's going through the interactive PDF online. Let's go ahead and make this just a regular interactive PDF. I just want to see if maybe the bookmarks will show then. Okay, so I'm going to go export. Yes, okay. So this is what you guys need to do for your, so let me go back here. See how it says export using the publish online, export as a spread. I just showed you how to do that. Copy the URL and submit in comments when you submit it. You're going to name it as such, and then you're going to submit the interactive PDF for grading. So this part you need to do as well. It's almost like a second step part. It might be a little confusing in the wording there. So when you're done doing the publish online, copy that link, go back to your InDesign file, and you're going to hit export, file export, and you're going to save it as an interactive PDF. Interactive PDF. It's important that it's interactive. If it's print, it won't be interactive. You know, it won't have any interactive buttons showing. Choose spreads, that's fine, all pages. We'll do fit page, default's fine. Everything else looks good. Let me make sure I have everything. That looks pretty good. Okay, hit export when you're ready. Okay, so it's telling you right here, the go-to button action is not supported in PDF. The button appearance will be preserved, but its interactivity will be dropped. So click OK. So I'll show you here real quick when that happens. We'll see what we can do here. All right, so it's going to open up your PDF. So this is where you can actually see, remember those bookmarks I said that I actually created my feature article bookmark? That's where you're opening it up in Acrobat instead of the online publishing website. So this is where you can actually go to your bookmarks and see that the feature article. If you click on this, it goes to the feature article, which starts on page 3. Okay, so that's how you can check for your bookmark. Everything else you can kind of click on and see if it works. Why is it, oh, you know what? Why is this? There we go, okay. You can click on the hyperlinks and see if they work. The only things that might not work here is the back and forth buttons here. Oh, they work. It was saying the go to and the next buttons aren't going to work, but they work. Okay, my table of contents button, the wording down here disappeared. Possibly, let me see. Let me zoom in here. Might just not be able to see it. Yeah, see, this is what was happening before, and I just had to do something with, does the button work? Oh, that's what they were talking about. Okay, makes sense now. So that warning was basically telling me that's the button that was having the issue. I thought it was the arrows here. So let me go back to that button here. If we want to change that, and I'll show you why and how to find that out here. So you go up to interactive and you choose buttons and forms. And I'm going to choose the button that we placed in here. Right here where it says actions. So I had it going to a certain page, and that's only available online. You remember how we went to that EPUB online just to flip through it at first? You're able to do these actions under that. See how it says SWF EPUB? That's the only options available for that viewing. PDF, which is what we're looking at now, these are the only options available for buttons. Okay, so that's why it's having a little bit of a issue here. What I'm going to try and do is assign it a regular action up here. Let's see, go to destination, maybe let's try that. And let me eliminate this. So it'll work for the EPUB, but it won't work for the PDF. All right, so the destination, see, that's where it's a little tricky here. Yeah, see, that's good, and that's not going to be able to be working there. Let me think about this. Table of contents for your button for your PDF. Okay. Okay, this is what you do. So this is the workaround. I just figured it out. I remember there was a workaround here. Okay. So when you're ready to save this out for your, PDF, select the table of contents button and choose up here, instead of button, choose text field. Okay. And you can name this table of contents button. It's fine, on or release. Go to destination, so you'll hit that. Go to destination up here. This is where you'll want to make sure that this is selected, either the editorial article or page 2, because that pretty much is, we'll do page 2 just because editorial, it's basically the same page. Okay. Let's see here, everything else looks good. Click save. And let's try to export this out again as an interactive PDF. Color space, click OK. It looks good. It looks like this might work here. So knew there was a weird workaround. It's just really strange. I think it's just the button with the let's see if this, with the type itself, it gets all kind of messed up here. Okay, let's go to the very bottom and let's try out this button. I don't see the copy's going again. Wonder if it actually saved it. Give me 1 second here. Let me delete this. Sometimes it gets really weird when you save over PDF variations. Like it won't save what you just did. So let me trash the PDF, and I'm not going to save over it. Let me trash the PDF that I created. I'm going to save it again. And I'm almost wondering, let me do something before I do this here. Can I do a text field for this too? Yeah. It's already done. Okay, so file, export again. I just deleted that old PDF just so there's no mix-ups there. And sometimes that happens where it doesn't quite save over it. And hopefully this will work. If not, I might have to do some research because it worked before. Let's go to last page here. Oh, still not working. Let's see if it actually clicks to page 2. Okay, let me get rid of this PDF here. Let me see if maybe I need to group it or something that I'm missing here. You guys don't mind me working out this because it worked before when I did this. Oh, okay, table of contents. It looks like my table of contents box is not a button, so maybe that's the issue here. So I'm going to just choose my table of contents text box here. And I'm going to choose text field just like we did with the other button. Go to destination, page 2, just like we did before, but this is actually on the actual text box area. So let's go ahead and export this after doing that and see if that works. If not, I'm going to have to do research here, guys. A little tricky. Not working. Not showing and not working. Huh. Let me group it. It's just a matter of doing something like that where it's grouped together. It won't even let me. Interesting. Let me take the copy out real quick here. It looks like there's, here, hold on. I might be copy this here. Almost looks like, and if you guys can see it right here, it looks like there's like a little type thing. So I'm going to go up here and see if I can actually type in this box. See that little type thing? Let me see. There we go. Let's see if I can type in here. No. Yeah, I'm gonna have to research this. I had made it work before and I can't remember what I did. And it was a combination of things. Geez. You know what? I wonder if I can type it in here. Okay, something changed here. Do I have it on layers? I'm gonna undo this. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, there's something with this button. I'm almost wondering if maybe it's just the button that's getting all screwed up here. Let's just do type. Let's try it simple. Let's just do type. Table of contents. You could spell it out. I'm just going to do an abbreviation for now just so I can try this here real quick. And let's see, type. Let's do a button. Go to destination, and then we'll choose page 2, just like we did before, but keeping it simple, which is the type box. Maybe there's something going on with that button itself. So let's see if that works here. It's worth a try. Nope, let me get rid of this PDF back here. Hold on. Cancel. Well, this is the part that gets a little tricky. Export. Interactive, we're good. Spreads, looks good. Let's see if this works just for the sake of seeing if simplifying the button a little bit does the trick here. Then we know it's a button and a type issue going on. Oh, what the heck's going on here? This is the old PDF. Okay, so something weird's happening there. It's showing the old PDF. Oh, it's so weird. Why is that doing that? Maybe that's why. Let's try it again. It's almost showing the old PDF for some reason. Export, interactive PDF. We're going to just name this new, just so we know that that's the new one. So when it opens up automatically in Acrobat, we know that that's the right one. And does it say new? Yep, that's the new one. There we go. Maybe it was showing my old versions for some reason. Maybe it was working and I was just opening up my old versions. Okay, let's click on that and see if it goes to page 2. There we go. Yeah, my view is like all at 6,400%. So we're gonna have to change that too. But it is working now. So let me try this again. Let me do what I was doing before with the button, just because for some reason I think maybe it was an Acrobat thing where it was opening my old files. I'm just curious too, because it worked before. Why would it not work now? Let me go grab the button. I'm going to just make it big here. Let's bring this to the front. We're just going to give them both the same actions here. Go to destination. We want it to go to page 2. That looks good. And that's what that's set to too. Yes, okay. Save, bring this up just a little bit, make it a big button. Okay, let's try this again, guys. Let me close out of Acrobat. Something weird's going on with that. export, and we're going to name this to interactive. Oh, you know what? I forgot to change the size of that too. I'll take a look at it here after I see if this worked. Oh, see how the type's missing? But it does work. Type's missing. So that was what I was having issues with before. And I think doing that signature button helped. So I'll show you what I'm talking about here. It's not recognizing the type over top. So let's see. We're going to make this a text field instead of a button. And table of contents. Go to destination and to. See if that helps. And then at the same time, let me look at this button here, because this one, zooming in, inherit zoom. We don't want that. We want fit in window would be good. Let's do the same thing with this. Fit in window. Save. See if that works. I'm going to toss out my old PDF. Save it and export. At least you get to see me doing this before you guys attempt it, so you can figure out the issues here. Fit page, everything looks good. I know there's a way where you can show the type over top of the button. Aha. Well, this is showing a type box, but it's not showing the type. But it's working. Let me zoom in on this just to make sure. Maybe the type is showing. No. So it's showing as like a type box. Okay. It's the only thing I don't know. And I know I figured it out before. And I think it had something to do with grouping. But it almost looks like you can type in into this button here. With the type tool. All right. Let me group this just to see. Let me unassign this. I'm deleting the actions here. And let's shift select both of them and see if this works. If this doesn't work, I'm just going to let it go and research it, so you guys don't have to sit here and watch me doing this. So what I did was I just unassigned both, and then I shift selected both of those together. Although now this isn't shift selecting. No, it's not adding as a bucket. Interesting. Okay, well, there's some way to do it. I'm just not quite sure exactly how I did it before. I'll have to review my other lecture because there is a way to do it. So the button will work. It's just the type over the button. So what you might want to do until I find a solution to that, just use like a simple word as the button like I showed you before, because that actually works if you want to use type over that. A table of contents, that's important to note in there, because you know, you are going into a specific page within your document. So it's not like you're doing a right-left page. You're telling that viewer to that button goes to the table of contents. That's why it's kind of nice to have the wording in there. So what you could try too is creating your own button with the type. Let's see if we could do that instead of using the pre-made button. So for instance, table contents would be in your type. Let's do all caps. And centered. And then you would just create like you could even do, let's see, like a square around here. You can even, you know, you can have your rounded corners just in your property box. You can change that. So let's try creating our own button. What the heck's going on here? It's really weird. Okay. Not sure why that's doing that. It's kind of strange. Half and half. Must have something weird going on up here. What the heck's going on? Never had that happen before. Jeez. That's interesting. Okay, well, something's going on here. I'm not quite understanding. Looks like it's filling half of it, and I don't know why. Save this. Let me go back into it. Oh, it's so weird. Why is that doing that? Okay, hold on 1 second, guys. Let me totally close out of here. Maybe I have something going on with my InDesign. So I was just going to pre-make a button, and it's not letting me do that. So let me restart InDesign. Maybe I'm having some weird issues with my browser and my program, because I've never had this happen before. Always the first for something, right? Something funky going on. It's happening now. Let me reset my essentials. Let's open this back up and see what's going on here. I'm still doing it. There must be some type of weird setting that I must have this set to. Let me see if I make a new document. It does the same thing. So weird. Never had that happen before. There we go. That's so strange. Okay. Try this again. Oh boy. Let's see. All right. This is what we're going to do. We're going to create the rectangle in here. Something in my settings is off in this document, and I'm not sure what it is, but we're going to work around it because that's what we do. So ignore my issues. You probably won't have the same issues. Right in the front. You know what? I don't think so. Let me see. I would be very surprised. It doesn't even come up as the text frame option. Yeah, it does. It does. All right. So I created, you guys shouldn't have any issues with that. For some reason, my document's going haywire and it's not letting me do it. But you guys should be able to just create a rectangle or a rounded rectangle and then have your name, the table of contents, be a button. We want it to be a button. Table of contents, go to destination, page 2, and fit visible. Looks good. I'll see if that works. All right, we'll see if this works. I'm throwing in the towel if it doesn't. I'm gonna have to go. There we go. Yes, it looks like it worked. So this would be, yeah, boom, right there. So I think the best option if you do a button, because I'm not quite sure exactly what's going on with the pre-made buttons when you put type over top, but if you just put your own type in there and set the button to the type box, and then draw whatever element that you want behind that, it'll work. So yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with that. It's really weird. Hopefully that didn't confuse you guys too much, but any questions about any of that? For the most part, we got it where it needs to be. So this PDF that I just saved as an interactive PDF is one that you'll need to submit for grading for the assessment 4. And then when you submit this in assessment 4, okay, I lost my, let's see. When you submit it for assessment 4, you're going to write in the little message area where you can write notes to me. You're going to put the URL of your interactive PDF that you publish online. Does that make sense? And all kinds of stuff going on behind the scenes here. Okay, so yes, you'll just go to submit your work. I believe it's up here somewhere, and then submit that PDF, and then submit that URL, and it's all right here. So there'll be 2 different versions that you need to do. You need to do the Adobe InDesign Publish Online, which will be the first step I showed you, and then the URL. and then you'll submit the interactive PDF that I just showed you how to do. Make sure you're choosing interactive PDF, and you're going to send an email to the FPA and instructor with just your URL link. You do not have to send us the PDF. That's the only thing that you don't have to send to your FPA or me. We only want to see the URL, but you will have to submit this to Canvas, the actual interactive PDF. Okay, any questions about that? Pretty good. Sorry, I got a little confused at the end there, but figured it out. I knew I had a workaround. Okay. Oops. All right. So that's pretty much it. I know, Christina, I have your, and Raymond, you want to show your stuff too. So give me 1 second here. We're going to show Christina's ad because I want to show her something and give her some tips here on her ads because she said she didn't mind if I critique them in front of everybody. Does that sound good? Okay. Looks like you didn't. Let's see here. Did you give me your fonts? Yeah. Let me download your fonts here. 1 second. Orange, bold. Looks like it didn't pull all of your fonts in your font area here. Yeah, I'm missing one more font here, Christina. And it's the, let me show you. It's that Grange font or whatever you, here, I'll show you the error that I'm getting. Let me close out of here. Grange bold and Grange heavy italic. So those I do not have. No, they weren't in your folder either. So with that being said, let's pretend that these are your, let's just, I'm gonna kind of, I'm gonna give it a different font here, but just make it, you don't have to change this. Change it to like a Helvetica. Regular. I'm just going to change it to a Helvetica regular, but you don't have to worry about changing it, the actual font, just so you don't have to see that pink. This is what I see when I don't have your font, just FYI. So that's why I'm always like, make sure you package your file because I don't see it the same way as you guys see it if I don't have your font, for instance. So yeah, okay. But you get the, the gist of what you used. All right, so this is the first social media ad. And I love the image, looks great. I think the only issue is the alignment. You have, let me change this too. And it'll be real simple for you. It's just a couple of little adjustments. And everybody will be able to benefit from hearing this critique, I think. Because I think a lot of people have problems with alignment in their ads too. So hopefully this will help those of you who are struggling with it too. Okay. I think this is dark enough where you don't even need the black boxes behind there. I think it just makes it look more cluttered. So I would just eliminate them altogether. Keep it simple. I like the simplicity of the ad, so keep it simple. The next thing I would do is right align all of your type, because everything on her side is left aligned. It would be nice to center that by doing a right align. So you would just go to your paragraphs and do right align, but just make sure, and you can set your margins up smaller here. They look pretty big. See this purple line margin? Let's set those smaller. So let's go up to a layout, margins and columns, and we're going to set this, let's see, hit that little link so you do it all at the same time. Let's do about 25. That'll give you a little bit more room. And then just go ahead and pull that box to your margin line. Same thing here, right align. And I'll probably make this a little bit bigger. Pull it to the edge here so it's right align. Okay, down here, same thing. Let's take a look at this here real quick. So this is where I'd say, you know, you can, it all kind of has its same emphasis. So why not make the headline bigger, you know, a lot bigger. Never give up the fight for a healthier you. Let's make that much bigger here. We can even have it drop down a couple lines here. Never give up the fight for a healthier you. Yeah, something like that would work really well. Then you could bring this up. Let's see here. Balance it out a little bit. You don't want it too close to her head. In fact, let me see how much of her we have here. We can even bring her down a little bit to get more space up there. Looks like I lost some of the top image here. Hold on. Oh yeah, I can't pull her up. Pull her up that much. There we go. Okay, and then I would bring this up just slightly. Way too far apart, and maybe get a little bit bigger. All right, so that kind of works a little bit better up there. And then, let's see, so this is your logo and then your contact information. Okay, so what we could do here, let's see, there's different ways we can do this. If we right align it, I would do something like this. And this actually looks good together, but we want to make sure that it's consistent with everything else. So I would say keep it kind of like right aligned for your contact information. And maybe like make the phone number bold just to have it stand out a little bit. You might already have that, but because I had to change my font, mine got all screwed up. And then let's see if the logo, Might be okay over here. The True Power Fitness Center. True Power. I wonder if you could do something like this. Now your font's a little different than mine. Is there space here? No. Okay. What do we got here? 14. Get a little space in there. That way we can have a little bit of a better symmetrical logo to work with here. And then we can center this together. And then just align the bottom of the logo with the bottom of that baseline. We can swap these two too, if that kind of, if you want to do the logo over here, you can do that too. So it's more of a send off. Now this information in here, you might want to set this off in a different way. Maybe, maybe there becomes like, and you would have to do this on the other ones, so you'd have to keep it consistent. But maybe there's some type of like a circle, because you have a circle in your logo, where you're setting this off in its own way, where it's kind of in its own special area here. Sign up today. And then we got here, what's the wording? It's a lot of wording. Let's bring us over here. Sign up today for 50% off gym membership fee. Let's try to get this a little bit more simplified. Now I'm kind of capitalizing every other word here. So sign up today, 50% off gym membership fee. You want to keep it small if you do something like this, because you don't want a whole lot of wording in here. So keep it simple. And then what you can do is, let's see, keep this regular. You can make this even bigger. If you do something like this, you might even want to take the 50% out and treat it in its own box, so that you can bring this in here and kind of have more play with how that all works together. That is already up. Okay. You could even make this even bigger, and that kind of pulls your eye to it. Let's make it bold. Let's make it bigger. And then we can make this. Let's pull this over here so I can do my changes here. We'll just do membership fee. It's a gym, keep it simple. And then all you'd have to do is have the word off in here. Okay. So some things you kind of have to play around with, but let's zoom in. I think I'm too zoomed in here. It's not allowing me to get this. Let me try to get this on the same line here. Bottom line. No, it's not gonna work because that's based off of that line. Let's zoom in here. Sometimes these lines get goofy. They try, like, you think they're going to help you, but they don't. They're just a little bit of a pain in the butt. Oh, man. Okay, hold on. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to zoom in here. Oh, where'd it go? Where'd it go? There we go. There we go. All right. Let's pull this down a little bit. And it's just a pain in the butt. All right, we're just going to get it to where it looks good here for a second. And I think just pulling this up a little bit would be good. All right, so then I would select all of this together. Not to annoy you guys any more than you already are. You're like, just do it. Okay. Let me center it within the circle, and then you could do something like this where you tilt the whole thing a little bit. So it gives it just kind of like an added, and I wouldn't go too much, just a little bit. And then that way you can kind of, oops, group it. You could either bring that down here. I would align it with whatever your guides are, where everything else is aligning. So maybe like right here would be nice. And there you go. And I would maybe put an exclamation point here. It's kind of like, hey, you know, because we want to get that energy level going. You could do some really cool things with this circle too. You can give it kind of like a really cool little edge, different, you know, patterns, whatever you want to try. There's like borders here that you can play around with. There's dashes. You just have to make sure that it's weighted so you can see it. I don't know if you can see that. See how that kind of gives it a nice little unique look to it. That's in your strokes. It's a 6 point, and I just gave it like a straight hash. You can even make this, like, give it a pop of red color. You know, obviously I would change this to be a none. Or red. And then this would all be white. You know, a pop of color isn't too bad when you're dealing with specials, because that's what you want to have people see right away. I would just change all this to white just because it's easier to read. And it looks lighter. It's not as heavy looking. Figures. There we go. Now the logo, I just noticed this. Yeah, the logo colors, you might even want to make it part of the logo colors. Let's see, maybe that green might be kind of nice. That way you can unify it together. There we go. That would be good. The pop of red was nice, but if you want to kind of unify it with your logo, that might be even better. Does that make sense? And then you could have some other fun with this, and you can actually make, you know, maybe that color. Let's grab that color first. Add a swatch. Here we go. Here's our swatches, yeah. You know, if it's readable, actually it doesn't look too bad. You can even do the phone number like that. If it's readable in that size. The red was nice. I mean, you could play around with that with your logo color if it's something you want to change. I don't mind this color though. But do you see how it's better aligned now, and it's kind of it's anchored so that it's not kind of looking like it's floating all over the place. And I mean that in the nicest way possible. I knew you were you were worried. You're like, oh no, is this going to be really bad? No, you actually had a really nice, you had all your elements coming in to play. It's just, you just needed a couple alignment things going on here that needed to be changed. Now the other one, you know, obviously you would have to change that one to match it. And that would be really easy because all you would need to do, you know, is do exactly what I did, was just getting rid of those other things. And I could actually copy and paste a lot of this stuff in here. Oops. And it's not gonna let me here. Hold on. There we go. Let's do another artboard in here. It's giving me some problems. Pages. Here we go. And then you would just, I would resize your margins too, like I showed you before. So I would go right back into your margins and columns. Take that down, I think it was like to 20. Was it 25? Yeah. And then I would just downsize this together. So I would hit scale, and I would downsize this. Let's try 80%. I was going for the trapeze feel. Oh, okay. All over the place. No, you know what? Everybody does it. So don't feel bad. Seriously, it's one of those things that you will get. You'll get there and you'll be like, yes, this is exactly what I need to do. Just, you know, takes time to get there. It's all. Okay, I'm just resizing this information. I think I just downsize it by like 80%. You know, like I said, you could switch these around so the logo's maybe here. Just make sure it's hitting around that line. And then, you know, obviously you would do left align for this. So whatever you do, just keep it consistent. And make sure it's readable. If it's not readable, we'll have to play around with that. There's a weird line in there. Okay. This is maybe where I would maybe put this down here for this ad. You might want to switch it around. I might put this offer down here. Might look a little bit better. Maybe switch these two. Sometimes you're gonna have to play around with it, you know, see what works best for the orientation of your ad. And this looks kind of weird because it's centered. Let's try this. That actually may work. That actually is more close to what you had anyway. I would probably give this a little bit of a drop shadow. So you have, like here's the preview here, the true, you get it popped a little bit. Pull back the distance. Bring this up just a little bit. There we go. So that would be the second one. That's the first one. Does that look good? What do you think? So play around with it. See what you can come up with. But that's kind of my suggestion, to play around with it. You don't have to make it look exactly like I did it. But I wanted to give you that idea of, okay, this is what it would look like if it was aligned a little bit, you know, more of a consistent alignment. And then changing the logo so it's easier to place in here, because before it was a little bit more horizontal and now it's more symmetrical. Yeah, I mean, it could be, you know, it's something you can play around with. I think you have more room for her to push her up a little bit more too. So if you wanted to put her up like this much, that might work. You can see it there a little bit easier. Plus she's looking now right at the headline, which is nice. You have a nice, you know, you see the image, then you see the headline, then you go down. It's like a circular pattern, which is a great pattern to have in any type of ad. Oh, okay. Yep. I think that picture looks good. The only thing I would say is maybe getting rid of this line down here. I'm not sure if that's on the other one. Oh, it must be way on the right because it's not on the other one. I would probably try to eliminate this line right here. Oh, okay. Yeah, if you can kind of just like in Photoshop, just try to get rid of that. Just kind of make it look more muted, because you can't really tell it's a mirror. It's just, you know, it just looks like a weird line here. All right, well, I hope that helps. Raymond, I don't know if is he still in here? Let's see here. I don't want to, I know we're a little bit past the time here. All right. Does that help though, Christina? I was hoping that would help you. And I wouldn't have to type all of it out. Okay. Good. All right, Raymond, we're going to give the screen to you here. I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to unmute you. Go for it. Thank you, Christina, for letting us do that.
Wow. Somebody kept messaging me for assistance, and I was like, yeah, no. Sorry about that.
Everybody's wanting your time.
I don't know why. This is my cover.
Okay.
And then,
that's good. And Christina, chime in here if you want to give some feedback too.
and then this here is my what? Oh, Jesus.
Your text boxes just aren't wide enough. I can see what you're doing now for
No,
your vision.
They are. It's for some reason I don't. When I did this, for some reason the advertisement this here got mixed in with all of that. I don't understand why. Um,
Oh,
the
oh, you mean
paragraph
it
style.
relived it? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I have to just fix that. All that says is some whatever at the top of that line was the issue.
Okay.
These were just page
I would
numbers.
get rid of that vertical line. I don't think you really need that. I think that this white space in between will be, with those numbers the way they are, be perfect. Keep it like simple. It looks really good. Okay, go up to the cover again, just real quick. Okay, so my only concern about this is they're all pretty much the same size. I understand that you have like one that's in different typeface, but I don't know which one's the feature story.
Oh,
So you might want to treat that one a little bit differently, maybe even have it bigger and the other one's being slightly smaller. It could still be the same typeface. Do you know what I mean?
mm-hmm. I do.
Yeah, but that looks good. Other than that,
Okay.
and I probably would break that. So it would say how healthy, and then R goes to the next line. So you do like a shift return. There you go.
My other question was, whenever you have a fancier font like this one,
Hmm.
and there's 2 words there, 3 words there, and there's only one. I know that the one word is looked down upon, but what if it's as big as it is? Is it still looked down upon in the way?
I think for this, that looks okay because it is a subhead and you do have it more balanced as a rag on the side there. So I would say that that would be okay. If that was like a 2-letter word at the end, I would say, or, with 2 letters, I would say, yeah, it's kind of weird.
Okay.
But that, I could see that being okay.
Okay.
Yep.
That's it.
Should another word go with lunches? Oh, okay. I see. Yeah. No, I think that looks good.
Okay.
It's lunches. Okay. Go down, just scroll through your pages just real quick. Take a look at your, yep,
Oh,
that's good. Yep.
sorry, I've got too much going on here.
No, that's good. Go down.
The last concern, I know that there's quite a bit of space here on both of these articles, and I didn't know if you had any suggestions. I've actually tried to make the body copy larger just by 1 point, and it goofs like everything up, and I
Yeah.
don't have enough space.
I would try making that dog image of that woman walking a little bit bigger. See if that bumps at least that first line down, maybe one more.
Ugh.
Try that first. Yeah, the images is something that you can play around with. There you go. Perfect.
Okay, I see.
Just don't make it too big because you don't want that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's perfect. And then,
This one, the picture, I could already tell the picture's not aligned properly because it's like right there.
you mean fit in the circle?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah. Okay, so go up to select that again and go up to object on your menu bar and go to fitting and go to, yeah, fit content proportionally. There you go.
Okay.
And then you can make that larger too, because you have a lot of room on both sides where you're not going to disrupt the text too much. So you can make that whole image bigger and that will bump your text down. So you'll kind of balance it a little bit more.
That didn't do what I wanted it to do.
That's okay. Go back up to object. With that selected, go to fitting, do the same thing. Fit, yeah.
Oh. Whoa.
And if you need to make it smaller,
Is it option or command to make it?
shift.
Oh, I was wrong.
Now you'll have to go back up and do the whole fitting thing again if you want it to fit the way you had it before. But that's how I would do it without disrupting
Okay.
the flow of the text with changing
Oh,
the size of the
that's
text.
totally just like fix
Uh-huh.
that.
Yep.
Okay, I'll fix that to make that go down one more.
Yep.
Then do the same thing for this one, for this guy over here.
I would probably go up on that one. I'd probably make that a little bit bigger.
Make this one. Okay.
Like just either give it the text wrap a little bit more space underneath. Do you know how to do that?
For this picture.
Uh-huh. Do you know?
Yes.
Okay. So
Here?
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. And then see where that little, okay, don't do that. We
Oh,
want to keep that as is and see that little link. Let's
yeah.
keep that link. No.
This
In
one.
the panel. Yep. And click it one time so you unbreak it. Okay, pull that panel box out to the left so I can see a little bit more here. I have my chat. Oh wait, no, you're good.
One.
Okay, so see how there's 4 little icons that show the top, bottom, left, and right in the panel box. And it says 0.125 inches for each. So you just want to affect the bottom space. So the very bottom second, yeah, that one, you want to raise that to a higher point size. There you go. And that'll bump it down, just affecting the bottom part. Good.
Oh, I see. Okay. Is that too much of a space now?
No, that actually looks fine. I just
Okay.
didn't want you to have to worry about a big space on the left. So
Oh, I see. Okay.
it's just
I'm just
affecting the
trying to understand spacing between
bottom.
objects within these programs. So
Yep.
it's just one of my areas of opportunity that I'm working on.
Yeah, definitely. It's all part of practicing and seeing how it all relates together.
And then this is my ad.
Yeah, and that looks great. Yep. Good job. Just
Okay.
kind of work on evening out your spaces on the cover now that you resized your stories. I
Oh,
noticed
I gotta do this too.
in that. Yep, I think yep,
Okay.
looks good.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Good job. Excellent.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for showing your stuff. All right. This is a good final class, right? Just for thought, I found out yesterday if you are on the desktop and you hit Command Z, you will replace things that you have moved into folders and placed in the trash. Oh, okay. That's good to know, right? Yeah, that's not good to know. Don't do that, right? Lesson learned. Well, it's so awesome to have you guys in class. And sorry, my voice was like crazy today. You guys are doing such a great job. Just finish this up. You'll have a really nice portfolio piece if you put the time and energy into it. And you guys are really impressing me. A lot of you guys have this is a lot of work in this class. So I understand when it gets a little frustrating, but I'm not really a talker in the morning. Thanks. But yeah, I'm excited to see your final projects. And let me know if you guys need any help before we have final submissions. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming in, and I'll be seeing you on discussion boards. Have a wonderful day, and let's end strong. Thank you. All right. See you guys.